Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists episode 671. My name is Zach.
And my name is James.
And we're here to talk about movies and movie obsession and movie lists with you for the next hour or so. How's that sound?
It sounds great. Zach, we are minus one host and up one guest.
We are. Yes, absolutely. And we recently changed the policy of how often you can miss and lose your hostship and get replaced by the next guest.
Really?
And we've changed it to one miss.
That's right. So
It's
Ariah
one miss.
immediately replacing Kyle.
Yes.
I don't know if I signed up for that, but here I am.
Yeah. Hi, Ariah.
Hi.
This is Ariah's second episode with the Cinereelists.
Yes. With the last one being, what did we determine? Like 300 plus episodes ago?
309. Yes.
Yeah.
So for our avid listeners, they knew that already. They were like, 309. But welcome back, Ariah.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Last time you talked about Christmas movies you hadn't seen?
Yeah. This time I have seen the movie, so I'm looking forward to
You've been to this movie twice.
I have been in the theater twice when the movie was playing. Yeah.
What does that mean?
We went to see the movie last night, and he slept. He watched the first 2 minutes and then slept the rest of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, it was a late showing, and I'm an hour. That actually is not a good excuse.
Wouldn't you be
I'm
more
actually-
awake?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, that didn't support my case at all. I was just tired. That's all I got. But I didn't. Well, I enjoyed it the first time.
Oh, spoiler!
So sorry.
Spoiler. Now they know you enjoyed it the first time.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it was a real snooze fest for you.
Sounds like it. But you saw it twice? I don't understand. So you went
He
back?
saw it.
I went to see it on Thursday with my son. I guess that's opening. And then
Okay.
Zach was like, "Hey, we're gonna go see a movie tonight." And I was like, "Sweet, what are we seeing?" And I said, "Mickey 17."
How many movies a year do you see? In the theater, I would say.
Well, I have we have AMC,
Okay.
and my son just convinced me to get starting at Gladiator around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
A-list. So I have seen more movies in the theater in the last 3 months than in the last probably 10, maybe even 20 years.
But how
And
many
it's
weeks
not
do you
that
see?
many.
How many weeks do you see? 3 a week?
Probably 2, if that. Well, actually, in the last 3 months, probably 1 to 2. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I don't think.
I mean, that's a better
Yeah.
average than I've had the last 3 months for sure.
Yeah.
It's been pretty bad. I've basically just been handing AMC my money these days.
There you go.
It's like March, I saw Mickey 17. There's really nothing left in March
Mhm.
that I absolutely have to see in a theater.
There's the Led Zeppelin documentary.
It's really not worth the drive for me. Unless I hear it's amazing, I'm probably going to pass on that.
You should now you should switch from AMC to Regal just to save you the drive.
A Regal's not any closer. I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it might
Oh,
be a
maybe not
little
for you.
closer, but not crazy.
For me,
close.
it's closer. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. They're both about the same amount, the same distance. But, well, welcome, Ariah. I'm excited to have you here.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Kyle is out.
And-
He's sick. So just, he'll maybe be back. We'll see if we allow it by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
uh,
Man, this is like your audition.
right.
Pressure.
How Kyle-like can you be?
We'll see.
He's just going to
I have-
sabotage it the whole time and just be an
Yeah,
awful
yeah.
guest.
I will say, as much as I'm a fan of Zach and the podcast, I listen very rarely because I have very rarely been watching the movies that y'all are talking about.
Sure.
So I've actually done a little bit of homework because I've probably listened to more episodes in the last 3 months because I've actually watched at least 2 of the movies that you've talked about. That's probably
Nice.
it. But so I feel like I'm ready to give it a go.
Having seen a bunch of movies recently, what's good? What have you seen that's worth talking about?
Oh, that's harder. I'm going with an 18-year-old who is more a movie connoisseur than I am, but also just wants what's the best way to say it? Appreciation for the thing that we spend our time doing. So I've tilted towards appreciation. I enjoyed Gladiator 2. We saw Civil War.
Okay.
We've seen most of the blockbuster ones. Those are
Sure.
both enjoyable. And then I can't remember.
I didn't like either of those.
Love Hurts.
Oh, I
You've
haven't
seen
seen that. No.
I haven't seen
That
that.
was fun.
I wanted to,
That was-
but it got horrible reviews, so I passed on it. But
yeah.
you
Well,
liked it. You think I should see it?
Again, I'm having I very rarely go to the theater in the first place,
Sure.
and so I've had a very like optimistic approach to most of the things I've seen. Love Hurts was funny. It was funny.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
a little over the top, maybe similar to some of the things we'll talk about today. But
I wanted to go see it just to support what's his name? Drawing a blank now. The Goonies guy, Ki Kwan.
yeah,
But man, it's got like a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Man.
I tried to make a double feature work a couple times for it. It wasn't working, and I was like, well, I guess that one's a watch at home ordeal.
Yeah.
So, all right, I've gathered you guys here today to talk about Mickey 17 and play some movie games. How does that sound?
I'm in.
Sounds great.
All right. Before we jump into all of that, we need to remind everybody there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. Search Cinereelists, R-E-E with an L on the end. With an L on the end? R-E-E-L with an S on the end.
Cinereelists Cell. Yeah.
Right. You could also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. You could leave us an Apple Podcast review. We'd appreciate that. Or send us a listener email to heyguys@cinereelists.com. Links to all of those things are in the description of this episode. Doing any of them would help us out a lot, and we appreciate it. You guys ready to talk Mickey 17?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's do it right after this clip.
Hi, Mickey. How you doing? Are you experiencing any vertigo, nausea, or dizziness?
I guess I am feeling a little dizzy.
It's only gonna get worse from here, Mickey, with a nice fever, too. Truth is, you're exposed to unthinkable levels of radiation right now, which is why we sent you out in the first place.
Okay.
If you could give us a full description of your symptoms. So, a couple things I want to go through on our cosmic radiation checklist. First, how long until your skin starts to burn? Then, how long until you go blind? And of course, how long until you die? That's the real nut we're after.
That was a really good clip.
The perfect clip, one might say.
Yes.
Mickey 17. The what?
The clip of clips.
Really is. You know, I insert the clips post show, right? But
Oh, is that true?
lately, yes, that's true. I'm talking to the
Well,
listeners.
then what I
all
said
right?
makes no
know.
sense.
Yeah.
That's
That
true.
makes no sense then what I said. I hadn't heard the clip then.
I've noticed a trend in like the last 2-3 years.
Okay.
Studios don't post clips anymore to YouTube. Like,
Oh, is that true?
like if you can find the clip, it's probably on some French YouTube channel or something like that. It's like no longer like just press clips for the US. It's really annoying.
What's your theory?
I don't know. I don't really have a theory. Maybe that they don't really work. Like posting random promotional clips don't really work. But they seem to work because some of them have like 1 million views, depending on what the movie is.
Huh.
So I don't know. I don't know why they would stop doing that, especially if it's a streaming title like Netflix. Almost never post clips of their films, which is pretty annoying. But besides that, Mickey 17 in theaters now. Ariah's seen it twice. The official IMDb plot synopsis. Oh, we should say this is a Bong Jun Ho movie. His follow-up to Parasite, which he won the Best Picture Academy Award for. It stars Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, Stephen Yeun, Toni Collette, and Mark Ruffalo, amongst others. The official IMDb plot synopsis is Mickey 17, known as an quote expendable unquote, goes on a dangerous journey to colonize an ice planet, which is definitely the page 1 plot description of this movie. There's a lot more to it for sure, but that is about as spoiler free as you can get as far as a plot description goes. We're going to talk about this in 2 ways. We're going to really quickly overview our thoughts on the movie in general without any spoilers past the plot description I just read. And then we will immediately go into spoilers because I think it's kind of hard to talk any kind of details at all about this movie without spoiling something about it.
At least light spoilers. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So what did you guys think of Mickey 17?
Guest?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Without spoilers, I think it had twists and turns that kept me interested in what was happening and engaged in a way that I think I otherwise wouldn't have been in a typical story arc.
Okay.
He likes a good twist.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. What did you think of it, James?
I think I overall enjoyed it as well. Like I definitely watched it and was keenly in tune with what was being sold to me. And it wasn't all mixing in like a flawless way, but it was so creative and like kind of bouncy from one genre to the next that I stayed engaged with it, even if some of what it is not necessarily good. I would say it's not a great combination of a bunch of things. At times it was, and at times it wasn't. But because of the momentum of the movie, I didn't get frustrated with that. I just enjoyed watching it play out, even if I knew halfway through the movie this was not going to save itself in the end. But overall, I had a good time watching it. How about you, Zach?
All right, this might be controversial,
Mhm.
but I kind of hated it.
Okay.
I just had a very bad time in the theater watching this movie.
It was because Ariah was sitting next to you? Is that why?
I was snoring.
No. He was very quietly sleeping next to me. It was nice.
Sure.
He felt so comfortable next to me in the theater to fall asleep.
Did you bring him a blanket?
So completely. No, we didn't. But how do you feel about blankets in the theater?
I have heard that episode, and I did expect a blanket. But
Yeah,
it didn't
I should.
happen.
We meant to sneak in food, but we ran out of time. We were kind of rushing to the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of hated it. It was not fun for me. It's not a movie that I tend to enjoy. It had a lot of elements that I find very off-putting.
Okay.
And so yeah, I wasn't having a good time at all.
Interesting. I can't wait to get to spoilers with you because I think there's things in this movie that I know you've liked in the past. So I don't think it's those things that annoy you. I think it's the way they're put together that annoy you. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Okay. So no criticisms from Ariah on Mickey 17, other than don't see it twice. It'll put you to sleep.
Yeah. Maybe this is non-spoiler. I would just say there was things that were, what do you use? Underbaked. I think there are things about it that like, and I left being like, I think this was actually originally a book because there's things that were sort of referenced that feel like they probably were developed more somewhere else. And indeed it was that. So I left actually interested in checking out the book. So that would be my one criticism or disappointment, was that there was things that I was interested in seeing expanded a little bit more that were not.
Yeah, I definitely had that complaint that it seemed to want to say a bunch of things, like just general observations through the presentation of the story. It just couldn't decide which was the most important. And as a result, none of them were the most important. They were all just kind of a surface level of importance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Spoiler portion over. Let's save our letterbox for the end of the spoiler section. What non-spoiler section over. Going into the spoiler section. So yeah, we're going to talk spoilers from here on out about Mickey 17. We will stop talking spoilers as of the game. So, read the timestamps if you want to jump to that. But if you haven't seen the movie and you want to stay spoiler free, you should take the recommendations we've already given. Stop here, come back to it later. If you have already seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, then listen on. All right, Zach, let us have it.
Oh, I don't need to trash the film. I just, I found this movie pretty upsetting and unrelenting, and it was incredibly long. And I started to very much feel that. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, like, I was about halfway through, and I'm like, okay, so what is the point of this movie? Like, where is it? What am I going to get from this? Like, where is it going? And it just, is happening. It's happening, but it's not like leading anywhere. Like the whole third scene, like third act, just plays out so slow. Like, oh, we're surrounded by the aliens. What are we gonna do about that? Oh, I've got a plan. I don't know. I really. So it's okay. So the central premise, right, is you have this guy that signed up to be an expendable, which means that he's cloned, and then if the clone dies, who cares? They'll just make another clone, right?
Mhm.
And so they put him in extremely dangerous, often intentionally dangerous situations, and he dies horrible deaths, and then is respawned the next day. And I absolutely did not enjoy watching this guy just suffer over and over, with everyone else just completely oblivious to any empathy whatsoever for actual humans' real suffering. And I understand, like, oh, he dies and we reclone him. That's great, but like he's undergoing real suffering in the deaths. You know what I mean? It's not just he like lights out. You know, he's like under horrible pain, and no one could care at all.
Mhm.
It's just very off-putting to me. There are several things in the movie that I did like,
Okay.
for sure. That I think other people maybe didn't. I don't know. Like he does a voice the whole time. Mickey does this voice. I liked it. I was into it. I was like, yeah, you do your voice. That didn't bother me at all. So I'm not talking about that. What's his name that played the king of everything?
Sure.
Mark Ruffalo's.
I liked Mark Ruffalo's characterization.
Mhm.
He had like some sort of, thing he was doing with his mouth, is like this doofus, religious doofus.
Mhm.
Anyway, I liked it. I thought it was a fun character. I think it must have been fun to play. But yeah, just the casual suffering, blood and guts, and all the characters were so painfully one-dimensional.
Mhm.
Especially the women characters. Like his girlfriend, like literally only cares about like her sex drive. That is the only thing that we know about her, basically. The first lady, the played by Toni Collette. Very oddly, all she cares about is sauces. Like the first time it gets mentioned, I thought it's like, okay, that's fine, kind of like a little joke, and then it keeps coming up, and like, really, like that's what we're making her character, someone who's obsessive about sauces to like the detriment of every human instinct in her. She just cares about sauces. That's her character. She cares about sauces. It was just like odd. I don't know. And maybe that's the delightful thing about it. It just wasn't delightful for me.
I mean, I think some of that weirdness is what kept me engaged. Like she, in my opinion, the Toni Collette character had two sides to her. One was the sauces, and one was helping the Mark Ruffalo character build a legacy. I think she was very invested in that as well.
She was.
And so if
an ends to a means,
if they had
or
dropped
a means to end.
the sauces part and just had her trying to build a legacy with him, it would have been far less interesting to me. Even though the level of interest was very surface level on both accounts. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really care in the end about either of them. But the fact that they were there and everybody else had really surface level, multiple motivations that were all surface level kept me afloat.
Here's the thing. It would have been understandable if she just cared about food, right? Mm-hmm. She's like really into food and like culinary experiences and exotic dishes. But it wasn't that. It was specifically sauces.
Mm-hmm.
Like she didn't care about food in general. It was sauces. So when she found an alien, she didn't care what it tasted like as food. She only thought, oh, this is an ingredient to make my sauces better. It was very interesting how specific it was.
Zach, this past week, I went to a Korean hot pot restaurant. Have you ever been to one of those?
Yes, once.
Okay. I'd never been to one. Ariah, have you ever been to one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the one I went to, I don't know if all of them are like this because I've only been to one, but this one had a sauce section where they had like 6 house sauces, and then they had little containers with all these different types of ingredients so you could make your own sauce. Now, Bong Jun Ho, Korean filmmaker. Maybe in his culture, sauce is thought of differently than what we as Americans think of as sauce.
This is a cultural misunderstanding.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I have stepped on a cultural minefield right now with my hate of the sauce characteristic.
I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying it's weird that like he's Korean, and I just noted a few days ago that at this Korean hot pot place, they were really into sauces.
Yeah.
Now, for all I know, in Korea, they don't make their own sauces. They don't have a whole dedicated sauce section. They might not care about it at all. Just making my own observation. So I agree with you. Like the Robert Pattinson voice, it's another thing that didn't matter, but made it more interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
If he had been doing his Harry Potter voice or whatever, it would have been like, okay, it's Robert Pattinson.
Is he in Harry Potter?
Wasn't he in Harry Potter?
He's in the Twilight movies.
He's
of which you've
definitely
seen
in the
all of
Twilight
them
movies.
in the theater.
I think Robert Pattinson was in at least one Harry Potter movie.
No, he definitely wasn't. That would be such a big deal if he was in a Harry Potter movie and Twilight.
He played Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Doesn't that sound like a big deal, James? Can't you agree that's a big deal?
I agree that it's
Don't
a big
minimize
deal,
it.
which is why I knew about it and you didn't.
Yes. Yes. I agree.
Yep. Actually, I thought all the characters got a decent amount of time to express why they were in the story, except for maybe Steven Yeun. Steven Yeun was like way underutilized, I would say, compared to like the potential of that character. But if they had added more of that, it would have made it longer, and you didn't like the length, so bummer.
How did you feel about it, James?
The length?
The length.
I was fine with it. I didn't want any more of it, but the length that we got worked for me.
Okay.
I stayed awake. And
so did I.
And,
I didn't fall asleep.
And engaged. So did Ariah the first time he saw it.
Yeah. First time.
I was engaged. I was. I never turned it off. I was just like, I'm not liking this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple things that maybe might change your opinion of the movie. And one of them's actually a criticism that changes the dynamic when it comes to Mickey and his suffering.
Okay. How do you bring it up?
I didn't like how in the movie they were using this repetitive motif of people asking him what it felt like to die, and how this was like an insensitive thing for people to ask him, right? That they shouldn't.
I didn't like that either.
They shouldn't ask him this.
It didn't seem like that bothersome of a question, to be honest, or one that everyone is like dying to ask him privately.
Not only that, but like by their own plot, they specifically say that he dumps his memory once a week into the brick, which means he never remembers what it feels like to die because he's always dumping his memory well before he dies. So he couldn't answer that question to any of these people anyway.
He's never experienced that to his own recollection.
Right. Which also explains why nobody cares that he died, because he doesn't remember it anyway. They're not being laissez-faire because they don't care about humanity. They're being laissez-faire because he didn't feel any of it.
But here's the thing. Everyone dies.
You mean in real life?
Yeah, in real life.
Sure.
But we still care about their suffering.
Yeah, I mean, sure. But if you knew that that person would have zero memory of the suffering on the other end.
I mean, a lot of people believe that.
Sure. Including myself, to be honest.
So why do you care that they're suffering if they're not going to remember it?
Probably because I don't want to see it.
They love
it pains me
all about
to
it.
see
Yeah.
somebody else suffer.
Well, I had to watch 2 hours and 17 minutes of it.
Right, but what if in real life you knew that person wasn't going to remember any of it and would be right back the next day? Don't you think your capacity to care about their suffering would lower over time?
It might. I would hope that it wouldn't. Here's the thing: is even if that is the case, right? They're still spending 20% of their conscious time in suffering, right? Even if they don't remember it, it's still as they're going through it, awful.
20% of their conscious time suffering?
I just came up with a random number. I mean, whatever that number is.
I was gonna say, because they go through like a 4-year period where one of them stays alive. So
I also here's the thing. I thought 17 was very low.
Yeah.
Like by the premise of the movie and how they use him, I would have assumed he had died 80 times.
Sure.
What do you think, Brad?
No, I agree. The number is low, but I would just say that the thing that was intriguing to me is that death is the unknown. That's why I think it's used as the thing that is, talked about less than the suffering. It's an unknown for us. I think that's why it's the ethical dilemma that's where I think it was underbaked, right? Like there's an ethical element here, the whole religious element. There's a whole bunch of ways that in real life we death is a mystery to us, and like it's a space. And so this idea that this person could exist and be reprinted and everything like opens up some really curious things you could do in the movie that I do agree were not really utilized well, but I think that's also where I see the obsession or sort of consistent reference to the dying specifically and less care about the suffering.
Sure.
I didn't walk away being like any epiphanies from the like ethical, metaphor that was presented, but I did think it was intriguing. Made it interesting.
I also think Mickey's reaction to the dying at least I felt like it gave me permission to be okay with it too. Because he doesn't seem all that nonplussed by it.
Which is doesn't seem realistic to me at all. Right? I think anyone, whether they know that they'll come back the next day, still don't want to horribly suffer for 4 hours or like,
Okay, so there's the part when we're in spoilers, right? So Mickey 17 makes it back, and now there's Mickey 18 and Mickey 17.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm intrigued because, like, to the point that you're making, I would think that both of them, if they were like didn't want to suffer and didn't want to die, would be very much focused on like defeating the other one or outing the other one so that they could continue to somehow hide and be like perpetual, like live ongoing. But the agreement they come to pretty quickly is that they'll take turns, which means that they're both sort of accepting that like they'll take turns suffering and dying and then be reanimated. Obviously they didn't explore what that actually looks like. But that was one thing that I think was interesting to me. That was a twist that I think I was intrigued by. That wasn't super focused on like, I need to continue to exist no matter what. Because here's my out. This this duplicate provides me an opportunity to continue to exist.
Yeah, they opened up a lot of really intriguing questions and then never really went anywhere with most of them for some reason.
If you invented this technology, obviously there's ethical and philosophical questions, right? Sure. I understand why the Earth had all these tribunals or whatever to figure this out. Okay. What I don't understand is why are they not using this technology for like rich old people that like die of natural causes and want to come back to life? Right?
I mean, because it's a carbon copy of where they last got a version of you. So if you're already old, it doesn't work. It's just going to reprint you an old body.
Sure, but you're alive again, right? If
you're alive again, but you don't have any memories from the last time they.
No, of course you do. If you're a billionaire and you're like, I'm 70, I might die soon, let me get it cloned, and then you die at 73, and then you go back to 70 with all your memories up to 73, that would be worth it to you.
But you lost the last 3 years of memories.
No, they memory upload every week. That's fine.
Yeah, I think the body is like whatever. They definitely said memories, but I'm assuming that just means like whatever state you were in. That's the state it's going to print.
I mean, in the movie, the only expendable we see being reprinted is Mickey. And it implies that there's maybe other ones, but like we didn't see a single other one except for that like very end part where the
dream
couple.
Yeah.
So another like sort of unknown piece of it, but I think it implies that like this is either very sparsely used technology or for a specific purpose. But yeah, I think it's it opens up a whole thing. If you can do this, why wouldn't you do it in more scenarios than just a test dummy?
Also, they've kind of made it like persona non grata to have a copy of yourself. You know what I mean? Or be regenerated. Like you're looked down upon in this society to have done that. Just given the name of people who have done it. So I think in real life, rich people would be doing this first, for sure. I agree with that. But in the frame of this movie, religion almost has made it so that only people who are in the bottom of the barrel do this, and they do it to leverage, to move up, type of thing.
Yeah, but it's interesting that the group that is the only one that uses it are this religious group.
Well, it's been legislated against on Earth. They can't do it on Earth.
Yeah.
So it might be more than the religious group. It's just we're with the religious group the entire time. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones going to the farthest away planet and all those things.
Yeah.
Another element that I thought was really interesting, also very ham-fisted, and I'm curious y'all's take on it, was the idea of like, you got Mickey 17 and Mickey 18, right? And Mickey 17 is like the whole of Mickey. And then when he doesn't die and Mickey 18's printed, only the aggressive, angry side of Mickey is printed. Why? Because they try to explain it away by like one soul, one body type of thing. And like parts of the personality go one direction and parts go the other. Like the long description with the other person who like printed multiple copies of himself. And like they got iteratively more psychotic, basically. But like Mickey 17, like, did the universe sense that Mickey 17 still exists? And that's why it split off a piece of his personality? And did Mickey 17 lose his aggressive side? I don't know.
That was not my read of what was happening in the film.
Okay.
There was a kind of a throwaway line that he said, all of us are a little bit different. Like number 6 was kind of dumb. This one was kind of blah, blah, blah. And so I just got a sense that there was a little bit of randomness of the personality mix, that there was slight variations among them. It just so happened that Mickey 18 was more aggressive. He could have easily have been more jokey or more, stupid. It just, he had a slightly different personality.
Interesting.
That was my read of it. Ariah, what about you?
Yeah, it wasn't until you actually had brought it up that I had really given it a ton of thought. So that was what I was like, oh yeah, that probably makes sense. There was one part where somebody trips over the cords that are plugged into his brain when they're playing like table games next to the printer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point, and then the 2 minutes I watched the second time through, I was like, oh, that's why it was a different personality or something. And then Zach pointed out that was like in the like back
Mickey 3
like
or
Mickey
whatever
3 or something. So yeah.
Makes sense.
By the way, my kids really wanted to watch this movie. And my daughter asked, like, is this like Mickey Once Upon a Christmas 2? Like, it's like, she thought it was just a Mickey Mouse sequel.
Sure.
Yeah. Mickey 17. It's
yeah, that makes sense. The other thing that I know Zach likes, but doesn't sound like he liked it in this movie, was Mark Ruffalo acting in a very big way.
No, that's the thing is I did like Mark Ruffalo in this movie.
Okay.
He was great.
Because he's basically doing like a variation on Poor Things. Although this was filmed before that, interestingly enough.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a doofy nut. And I liked it. Whatever he's doing with his mouth, thing, it was cool.
He had like a perfect teeth, like
Yeah.
obnoxiously perfect. That was the thing.
Sure.
And yeah, here, do this flip thing.
My favorite scene in the movie, by far, is that dinner scene.
Oh yeah.
I thought that dinner scene was like perfect. That scene, in my opinion, I wish the whole movie had the tone of that scene, where it's just kind of like super heightened and things that just kind of unravel over the course of that scene. It starts as one thing, and by the end of it, it's just kind of complete chaos. It reminded me a lot of Snowpiercer and a bunch of Bong Jun Ho's movies do that type of thing here and there. Yeah. Zach, you're a big fan of Snowpiercer. Ariah, have you ever seen Snowpiercer?
I'm not sure. It's a
You would
train
know it.
in the snow.
It's a train in the snow. It's a
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic movie. Everybody has to live
Yeah.
on the train. If the train stops,
Yeah.
they all die. Is this ringing a bell at all?
Why do they die if the train stops?
Because it's so cold that they have to maintain inertia, basically.
Can the cold not get you if you're moving?
The train can't generate enough heat unless it's moving.
It generates heat by moving.
Mm-hmm. It's a, what do they call it? Energy. It generates energy by propelling forward. What do they call that when something doesn't need a gas? Perpetual motion machine, essentially. It's generating its own energy. You should definitely check out Snowpiercer. It's kind of the it's a much better version of this movie, I would say. Like the themes are very similar, but it's way tighter.
Sharper satire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way tighter. It has wackiness, just like this does, but it like does a better job of like segmenting it.
And it's a secret sequel to Willy Wonka.
Yes, people have theorized that. I don't think he's said that, but
well, all right. Now I'm curious. Yeah, it pairs well,
and it stars Captain America.
Yeah,
it's got what's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
Captain America.
No. The actor's name.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Chris Evans,
and then there's somebody else.
One of the Chris.
Ed Harris, is he in it at the end?
Tilda Swinton's in it. Ed Harris is in it.
Yeah. This is like, did you guys ever see Okja? Another Bong Jun Ho movie?
No.
This makes total sense if you've seen Snowpiercer and Okja. Because the combination of those two is basically Mickey 17 in my brain. Which I like both of those, but I prefer them separately and not combined.
Yeah. Can we talk about the aliens?
Please.
Talk.
I don't have a lot. I'm curious about either. I was telling Zach, and one of the twists at the very beginning is I thought maybe he was going to get eaten by the alien, because that's obviously what you think is going to happen, and that the rest of it was going to be like a flashback leading up to that point. Whereas Zach pointed out that Mickey 17 was mentioned in the first 2 minutes, and therefore you knew that he wasn't going to die at that point. But throughout the movie, I was really unsure, as one of the twists, like unsure what the aliens' behavior was going to be relative to the humans. And I think one element underbaked for sure, but is the immediate assumption that they're, enemies that they need to destroy, and sort of how that kind of plays out. I found it, again, interesting, a little all over the place in some ways, but like intriguing.
I mean, I thought it was definitely an attempt at some commentary on like colonialization.
Yep.
Maybe even Trump in some weird ways. The idea of like, we're not the alien, or they're not the aliens, we're the aliens type of thing. I thought it was interesting. It changes the movie when you know that they shot this in 2022, because that was like a while ago. And a lot has happened since then, I would say, that kind of not necessarily this movie predicted, but I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if you told me like it just was shot, because it lines up well, I would say.
Yeah. I like the alien design. It kind of, like the big alien kind of looked like a guy in a alien suit, like a heavy alien suit just kind of sauntering around. I liked it.
Sure. I mean, they look like armadillos, right?
Yeah.
Or like roly-polies. Have you guys ever seen roly-polies?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or like from afar, like cockroaches.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like everything in the movie, I was kind of underwhelmed by them. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, that's the alien design. Looks like a roly-poly.
They're shrieking again.
Yeah. The shrieking too is a little much, I would say. All right. Anything else with Mickey 17?
No.
I think I'm done too. I do think there were more sides to the love interest character, Naomi Aki.
Oh,
played by
really?
Naomi Aki. But like the rest of the movie, underbaked for sure. It was definitely her dominant trait was that she liked Mickey in all of his forms. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even her speech at the very end when she's on the council or whatever, crazy.
I don't remember it. What
Wow,
was
I
crazy
can't
about
repeat
it?
it. This is a family-friendly show. I can't repeat what she said, but
Did she
it's
say
like
something not
Yeah.
safe for work?
yes,
I don't remember that.
into the mic in front of all those people. It's crazy.
All right. I guess I'll have to see it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Just wake up at that point.
Yeah.
Also, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I wouldn't be shocked that Warner Brothers gave Bong Jun Ho final cut on this movie. And I
Okay.
believe it.
Yeah.
I think if studio execs had their way, it would have been at least 15 minutes shorter and they would have cut out a bunch of subplots, I imagine, and probably juiced the ending a little more.
One other thing I want to say is, so Ariah did fall asleep in the movie.
Mhm.
And so I always stayed to the credits. Everyone else had already left.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, oh, this will be a funny prank. What if I go to the row behind us so he doesn't see me and he'll wake up into like this empty theater
Mhm.
and like not know where I am or where everyone is, how long he's been asleep, that kind of thing. So I did that. And then after I waited like a minute, I was like, he's not going to wake up. Like I would just be here forever waiting. It's like it became instantly a terrible idea. And so I woke him up. But I thought it'd be funny.
That's why you were above me.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just was like, oh, he's not going to just naturally wake up. This man is asleep.
So wait, you just now questioned why he was above you, Ariah?
Yeah, I thought he was. I mean, I didn't think much of it. He came down the stairs as I sort of got my
okay.
seat back up. You know,
You didn't realize he had
I was
been
like, oh.
sitting up there waiting, watching you
No,
sleep
no,
like
no.
a creep.
I guess now. I mean, now that it's being said for the first time, and I was thinking maybe he was helping clean up the popcorn or something. I have no idea.
I like to be helpful.
So, there was one guy we passed that apparently saw me sleeping when he walked out. He was like, "Oh, you woke up." So that's funny.
But the real question is, Zach, is Ariah a considerate in theater sleeper? Like, was he snoring? Was he tossing and turning?
No. He was incredibly he was a dream to have asleep next to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you could have anyone asleep next to you, you would want him. He was very considerate.
Mhm.
That's so thoughtful of you.
Yeah.
I do have to say, since I've been doing the theater thing recently and have not, like, the theater seats, these like reclining chair things are just like incredible. I don't know how you can not sleep, like
Sure.
in those things. So,
Are there any other movies you've slept through the majority of it?
no,
Okay.
I will say again, since I'm going with my
I don't believe
kid
that for a second.
Well, no, that's definitely true. I'm saying in the last like couple months as I've been going, it's mostly been with my son who does not want me. Like, my reputation in my family is that I sleep through any movie like 5 minutes in at home or if we go, mostly it's been Marvel movies with the kids
Sure.
in the last decade. But specifically, I got this movie pass to go with him, and he is not a fan of me falling asleep during the movie. So I'll get elbowed and stuff.
Sure.
Like I'd probably shut my eyes during Civil War or whatever the new Marvel movie is for a second. He nudged me.
I remember watching Return of the King with my grandmother, like weekend of release. She's like in her late 70s, maybe early 80s. Didn't see the first two movies. Okay. Doesn't care about it at all. She's in town for like a holiday. The rest of the family's going, so she's going to go. She falls asleep and is really loud snoring. And I was sitting next to her and I spent 3.5 hours nudging that old lady right in the ribs to try to get her to stop snoring over and over and over again.
I love that.
And the poor woman stayed in the theater, kept falling asleep, snore. I'd wait till I heard people getting upset behind me. Another elbow. I felt really bad, but it was fine.
So funny. Wow. Peer pressure.
All right, let's letterbox. Let's give this movie a letterbox score. Out of 5 stars, half stars included, what are you guys going to give Mickey 17? Zach?
Ariah. Oh, I'll give it 1.5 stars.
Okay.
I did not
Brutal.
enjoy watching this movie. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you hated it more than you actually said since you're giving it 1.5.
Yeah, I did not like this movie.
Okay.
Having not ranked movies much at all, I'm going with like 3.5.
That's exactly what I gave it too. 3.5.
All right.
Solid rating.
So solid. All right.
2 3.5s and a 1.5 for Mickey 17. I also recently watched Memories of Murder. Have you seen that, Zach?
Oh, that's good.
It's a really good. I had never seen that before. That's another
That's
Bong Jun Ho
Very,
movie.
very different movie.
Totally, for sure.
It has a lot of it. Yeah.
It also
There's no
has some
wackiness.
cultural wackiness.
We should cultural wackiness, but not overall wackiness.
I don't know. It depends on whether you consider how the police treat people a cultural thing or because there's a lot of like police beating up on suspects, but it's played goofily at times. And at other times it's not. It's like very serious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how it goes
I guess so.
sometimes.
All right. Let's play some games. All right. Or at least one game. This is a game we played a good while back and haven't revisited it until today. It's the AI song game. That,
Yes.
maybe Singing in the Rain. Is that a good title?
Music and lyrics.
Music. That's probably what we picked last time. Music and lyrics.
Okay.
Because that's a movie title and it's almost exactly what's happening here. I put a description into an AI song generating system. I picked a movie, told it to write lyrics around that movie. I'm going to play them for you guys, and you're going to interrupt me, wait for me to pause it, and then give your answer of what movie it is.
Okay.
So it's like tap, like one of us says stop.
Say,
I would say
James
say
prefers
your
you say
name,
to
but
say your
Zach
name. He
refuses
prefers-
to do that. So I don't know.
It's the dumbest way to do it. He wants me to go, Zach.
Just so if you and Kyle speak at the same time, I know who said something.
Also, we can just tell you who said it first.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that since you're in the same room. But when we're doing this on Zoom, it's harder to tell.
Debatable.
But why do we have to say our own name?
Okay, then just say stop and I will stop. And then whoever said
Yeah.
stop can then say it. All right.
Wait, who's talking right now? Is that James? Can you start
How
every
dare
sentence
you.
with your own name, please?
dare you.
So that I know it's you.
That's rough.
All right. You guys ready? I've separated these into two.
Oh, that's gonna be a good technique.
Yeah.
Separated these into two categories,
Yoink.
easy and hard. We'll see if my judgment fits the actual end result, but we'll see. Hopefully you guys can hear these. We didn't actually run that test. Can you hear this?
That's a bingo.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you should be able to hear the song. Here we go. This is your first song.
To infinity and beyond, I'm blasting off like a rocket, rapid fire, God, spitting bars, you can't top it. What's like here, flow, I fly in the sky, no strings attached, I'm the man, don't deny. Woody's got a cowboy hat, but I'm the real deal. On the mic, I'm the one who's gonna make you feel. Got a snake in my boot, but I'm quick on my feet, I'm taking over.
Okay,
Can't you
I
see,
know
can't
it. Zach.
Zach.
Just Toy Story
It is Toy Story
3.
It is Toy Story.
Nice.
It's not Toy Story 3. I didn't tell it what
Oh,
Toy
okay.
Story. So
Okay.
good job.
What was the giveaway? I caught Cowboy Movie. But
Yeah. what
Oh,
gave
I
it
didn't
away?
catch that. It just he said there's a snake in my boot.
I mean, I'll tell you off the first line, you
There you
probably
go.
could have gotten it, but it was probably a little shocking because it just kind of jumps right into it.
It sounded like a Lonely Island
The
song.
first line, to infinity and beyond, I'm blasting
Oh.
off like a rocket.
Sure.
Okay, I heard the rocket.
That's
word,
why I
but
thought this was a little too easy. Was
Yeah.
rapid fire rhymes, spitting bars, you can't top it. Buzz Lightyear flow. I'm flying high in
heard
the
any of that.
sky. No strings attached. I'm the man, don't deny. It's actually kind of well written, I would say.
Mhm.
Woody's got a cowboy hat, but I'm the real deal. I think they're
Wow, it's like
writing
a
this from
battle
the
rap.
perspective of Buzz Lightyear.
A buzz
Yeah.
that in a battle rap.
Yep. Got a snake in my boot, but I'm quick on my feet. I'm taking over. Can't you see? Can't you see? I'm the Space Ranger, intergalactic superstar.
Can I hear that chorus?
Sure. Here we go.
To infinity and beyond, I'm blasting off like a rocket, rapid fire, God, spitting bars, you can't top it. What's like the flow? I fly in the sky, no strings attached. I'm the man, don't deny. Woody's got
So
a
aggressive.
cowboy hat, but I'm the real deal. On the mic, I'm the one who's gonna make you feel. Got a snake in my boot, but I'm quick on my feet. I'm taking over. Can't you see? Can't you see? I'm a space ranger and a galactic superstar. The baddest toy in town, they know who you are. I'm Buzz Lightyear, laser focused, I won't back down. Forget the cowboy, I'm the king with the crown.
That's wild. Yeah.
And now it goes on for another 30 seconds or so.
Great. Fantastic.
All right. Are you guys keeping score? We got to keep score.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
How many points do you have?
0.
Yeah. I don't know how well this is gonna work out. I'll just say from the beginning.
No,
but
you got this, man.
I'm all about it.
Remember, these are the easy ones.
Yeah. I caught that too.
Is the genre going to change a lot?
It's going to change. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't all just start like a rocket like that one does. So, okay, here we go. Number 2.
In a land of wonder, where dreams come true, a princess and a hero destined to pursue, fighting for their love, a battle they can't lose. With every beat of their hearts, the flame continues.
So generic.
Through darkness and despair, they find their way. Together they conquer, forever they'll stay. In a world of fantasy, where love's in the air, they'll write their own story beyond compare.
So dumb.
This is a tale of enchantment and pride.
What did he say?
A love that transcends a hero by her side. Through trials and triumphs, their forces collide.
Through trials and
And the
triumphs.
princess embrace true love will abide.
Embrace true love. Is this
Stop.
Pretty much it.
Ariah. Shrek.
Not Shrek. Zach,
is this Beauty and the Beast?
not Beauty and the Beast. I thought this was easy, but maybe not.
Nothing is specific. It's just
Yeah.
like these people love each other in a fantasy world. That's
Frozen?
all we know.
I don't think playing it again will make you guys get
Can
it.
you read
No.
any lyrics that are more like specific?
A princess and a hero destined to pursue, fighting for their love, a battle they can't lose. With every beat of their heart, the flame continues. World of fantasy, there's love in the air. They'll write their own story beyond compare. I don't know. Princess Bride.
No idea.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Mhm.
Oh. Okay.
So the chorus, every line rhymes. Well, every rhyme
With Bride.
every line ends with something that rhymes with bride. Pride, side, collide, abide.
Okay, nice. That was tough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe
Way too
these aren't
funny.
easy then. That was the second one in the
Yeah.
easy column. How about
All right,
How about this
James
one?
got a point.
I stumped you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
He stumped the chumps.
This one I think is easy. Here we go. Oh, in theory, it's playing. I turned down the volume, and evidently it carries the volume you turn down from one screen to the next. Here we go.
World of confusion, a mind that's filled with illusion, searching for clues, but they all fade away in a story that's told in reverse.
All right, stop.
Wait, before you
I
say
watched
it, Ariah, do you have any clue what this is?
Story that's told in reverse. No, Benjamin Button.
I mean, it's kind of told in reverse, sure. Zach,
Right.
go ahead.
I didn't watch this with Ariah for the first time, I don't think, but I watched it with Ariah's roommates for the first time.
Okay.
Memento.
Memento. Yep. Story told in
Oh.
reverse. Yep.
I watched this with, I think, someone. I don't know,
Let's hear
Mark or Brian or I don't know.
let's hear a
Oh,
little
got it,
more.
got it.
We had, or no, we had Arby's for the first time.
Time rewinds,
Nice.
try to confide, but the
What?
Oh, you should get parts of it. But not, like I know enough of it.
See parts of it?
Like on the whole thing, I know enough. I must have seen part of an episode, or not an episode, part of it, because I know the basic concept, right? It's on the
Lost in a maze, I can't rewind.
I can't picture anyone listening to this song. Right? This is not a chart topper.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. All right, here we go. Number 4, still in the easy column.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes, this is such a late 90s.
Liam Neeson is a dad. He loves his
Stop. Taken.
Taken, yes.
Liam Neeson is the dad. That's a great
Hear
lyric.
how specific
Classic
these lyrics
lyric,
are,
yeah.
okay? Liam Neeson
Classic.
is a dad.
I got one though.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Liam Neeson is a dad.
Is a dad.
He loves his 11-year-old daughter.
What? She's not
She
11.
wants to visit Europe. He's like, over my dead body.
See, this is a banger right here. Keep going.
At the airport. Sold to sex traffickers.
Yes.
Why weren't all of them like this?
Send us the number 1. This is gold. She's 11?
Have anything to say about it? First half of the movie.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Can we keep going? I want to hear more.
Absolutely. Ready? He's going to start reviewing the movie. Here we go. Ready?
First half of the movie's pretty slow. So that's exactly what happens. The rest of the movie is a revenge fantasy. If you're looking for a better plot summary, I'd listen to the song. My little girl, my little girl,
What?
my little girl,
No.
my little girl.
And now it's just going to repeat that over and over. My little girl. Over
This
and over.
feels like
and over.
the AI, the generator got tired and
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
dialed it in for
Yeah.
this one.
That's pretty incredible.
Anyway, it's kind of amazing how sometimes they're extremely vague. Sometimes they're
Yeah.
not extremely vague, but wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Oh
it's
man,
pretty wild. Okay.
I would listen to that.
Ariah's on the
I'm
board.
coming back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm coming back.
All right. Second to last easy. Here we go. This movie was already mentioned on this episode.
It's just murder, a slaughter, and it's payment with desire. Now with my face concealed, lost forever, nowhere, but not really there. This is Gladiator.
Does somebody have a guess?
Can I go with Gladiator?
Yeah.
Zach.
I said stop first.
You didn't say your name. No,
It's
no,
Gladiator. It doesn't get any better than that. It's just like generic fighting stuff. Basically. And then it ends in "This is Gladiator" said like 8 times.
That's amazing. That's great.
All right,
That's
last
great.
easy song.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Did it say face concealed or something?
Does someone wear a mask on their
Yeah,
face?
yeah, that must be what it is. Okay.
Oh, this one has a curse word in it. I gotta warn you. We'll bleep it.
All
Here we
right.
go.
What the fuck? Holding my hand through your monkey stuff. You know what's been moving through the deep. Feel your feet now, tripping on the concrete. Cowabunga, Molly in my lungs. I get it with the comatose one. Where they going now? Dreams like codeine, dreams like soda. Love me, yeah. If I'm Nestle rich, hell, forget about the other rich, famous, that's dog shit. If I'm Nestle rich, that's the kind of rich they wanna be. Right. That's a lie. Even if you got money, they could kill you anytime. The big apple is rotten, warned you at the top. It's infested,
right. If you didn't get it so far, you're probably never going to get it.
There's a lot of like clues, but I don't know how they go together.
Okay.
It's something about the rich and like, but like it also had like Cowabunga, which makes me think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then it talks about the Big Apple, which is New York.
And do you have a guess?
Rich, famous New York people. No.
I'm going with V for Vendetta.
Nope, not V for Vendetta.
No.
I'll go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, it was? Oh, come on.
I mean, it said Cowabunga
I know,
and New
that's
York
what-
and the Big Apple.
I
but
was going to hit it right away.
what's that to do with the rich?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
What else did it? What other clues did it have for
It did
us?
say something
It
about
didn't
brothers.
have. It had said
No.
brothers. It said brothers foot. I don't know if it actually pulled
The
that
Foot Clan. The
but
Foot Clan.
There were a couple
Yeah.
other little tiny ones.
All the rich references, yeah, seem like something
Maybe
else.
that wasn't
All right.
easy. All right, these are the hard ones. Here we go.
Wait, I got it right.
Yep. Here we go.
Oh yeah, this is a jam. It's an instrumental.
Poor boy living without his pappy. Rich schoolboys laughing at his laughing and crying. None of us can
Right.
sit with you. Dating a baddie, now they jelly.
Dated a baddie, now they jelly.
Friend tells him to deal with it. Now guess who's running from the rich boys? Cheer up, baby. Deal with it. Deal with it. Now they're all crying as he runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. Now he's the one laughing and says to them, run, Forrest, run.
Okay, stop. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Yes.
Yeah. Run
All
for
right, we got to get more of that chorus.
Yeah.
Run, Forrest, run. They say, run, Forrest, run. Crying as he runs, Forrest, run.
There's a lot of this song.
Run, Forrest, run.
Pretty good.
good.
All right. Ready for the next one. Here we go.
In a world so strange where
I should say I have no clue if Ariah has seen this movie.
Oh,
Very.
No clue.
That feels like
It is a
clue.
classic,
yeah.
but only specific people have seen this movie.
in a world so strange where darkness stirs, there's a story untold, deeply disturbed. A tale of chaos, of violence and crime. In the midst
Yeah,
of
very
it all,
generic.
one soul will shine. Lock the doors, turn off the lights. Gather around, let me tell you of a night. A night so twisted, it'll make you see the true
this the Vast of
nature
Night?
of the evil that came.
What'd you say?
Is this the Vast of Night?
No.
Okay.
Is that in your top 100?
I don't know. I like that movie.
In me. When the clock strikes midnight, the world turns dark in this twisted tale where violence leaves its mark. A country of orange where innocence fades away. Oh, the horrors of that clockwork night.
Oh,
they
okay. I know.
come.
Yeah, I know it.
Zach.
Stop.
Oh.
Country of Orange. A Clockwork
Or the
Orange.
clockwork.
Yeah.
The last line is clockwork.
It's like so vague, and then it's like, okay.
Right.
I
On the
should
nose,
say
but
that.
not specifically saying the film title.
Yeah.
Like it's getting
Yeah.
those words.
Not
in
till
there.
the end.
Have you seen that?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
You don't know if you've seen it? You would know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I don't think
it's a pretty memorable movie, I would say.
Yeah. I'm realizing I was hesitating to say yes, and I think I'm thinking of Reservoir Dogs.
Sure.
Which maybe are not in the same category, but just sound like
also a very memorable movie, I would say.
Yeah,
Reservoir Dogs.
but I've seen that one. I don't think I've seen Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. All right. We're getting there. We're like 2/3 of the way through. Here we go.
In a land where stories are etched in the stars, where the weight of history
accent is that?
shapes who we are.
I don't know.
A tale unfolds with enchantment and lore, a world of magic we've never seen before. A diamond in the rough.
All right, what do you got?
Aladdin.
You got it. Nice. I mean, not bad. That's the first line that means anything, really.
Yeah.
I mean, etched in the stars, that does relate to Aladdin, but it's not like what people remember from Aladdin.
Yeah.
So
Well, too vague for narrowing it down to one movie.
yeah. It never gets more specific until the very end.
In search of a destiny we cannot delay. We know that's yours and mine. In a world so vivid, where dreams come alive, we journey together. The heart of adventure, where legends begin. We'll find our true selves in the realm of Aladdin.
Yeah, that's the only line. I don't know that.
All right. Here we go.
Okay, so we know it's going to be a very serious movie, very heavy movie. Man, AI can shred. Very depressing.
No guess yet?
No.
All right.
Life is cheap. A hero falls.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Verse 2.
Thunder cracks, the clantons scream. Justice burns, a shattered dream. Wyatt's eyes, vengeance stares. Tombstone's heart, a graveyard glare. Hellstorm rising.
Was that a graveyard glare?
Brothers' blood, eternal pain. Vengeance howls, not for the meek. Tombstone trembles, fate is bleak.
No guess? They've said the name of the movie 3 times already.
Is it Tombstone?
It's Tombstone. Yeah.
Okay. That's a crazy description of the movie Tombstone.
Verse 3 might have given it away, depending on how much you've seen Tombstone.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ready?
Deadly glare on your huckleberry.
Yeah.
Deadly Glare, I'm Your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
Did you pick the genre for each one, or is it AI picking the genre based on it?
I picked the genre based on what their demos had suggested, if that makes sense. Like if you go to their main page, they have a bunch of songs that other people have generated that will tell you what their description was. I'll copy their description and then change the back half of it to say, with lyrics taken from the plot of some such and such movie.
Okay.
So I didn't come up with this genre on my own.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if the mood they read the AI was reading the just synopsis.
It'll do that.
And it was like,
it will do that though.
If you
if you just have lyrics.
Yeah. If you let it.
All right.
But that's no fun. The fun is sometimes making it sing about silly things in a weird way.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost there. Here we go.
Mania is cyclical, living in your cubicle. They made your life a musical. You win, but at what cost? And I've seen all of the angles, but I gotta wait till after the credits roll. But overall, I like the film, and I always go back to it. But
Another
really
review.
Nothing can kill the departmental hot takes, because everyone's a critic.
Office Space?
And everyone loves.
What?
Office Space?
Not Office Space.
Just based on that first cubicle.
I'm going to rewind it just a little bit.
Everyone's a critic.
Everyone's a critic, and everyone loves Jim Carrey, but Ed Harris is infamous.
Stop.
Yes.
So dumb. Truman Show.
Truman Show, yes.
So dumb.
For some reason, they start reviewing the movie in this one. Overall, I like the film, and I always go back to it, but really nothing can kill the departmental hot takes.
Yeah.
What was the first line?
The first line is, mania is cyclical, living in your cubicle. They made your life a musical. You win, but at what cost?
I heard cubicle, and then I heard that departmental hot takes or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh,
No, it definitely.
only thing I could think of was Office Space.
Definitely sounds like it. It ends with parasocial in the shadows, Esteban Hubbard hypnosis, but he's gone now and life's terrible. No Esteban to hypnotize me. And if the sun don't set, it's Groundhog Day. This one feels like a long time away. A full moon, it's October again. An hour acting 101 nickel.
That is very abstract.
For sure. Definitely. All right, there's 4 more. This is a very, very well-known movie that I have no clue if Ariah has seen. We'll see.
Oh, you've seen this. Yeah.
Another man walks in the room, past last night's wine. The voice of God acts from behind. Is Jen somewhere I could find? He says, we're in a room now looking green and soft. Smiles so loud I'd call it mine. My woman's back where she was born. Can't say when she's coming home. Another man walks in the room, past last night's wine. The voice of God acts from behind. Is Jen somewhere I could find? He says, we're in a room now looking green and soft. Smiles so loud I'd call it mine. My woman's back where she was born. Can't say when she's coming home. So here's looking at you.
Just looking at you, kid.
There's so much we could do.
Stop.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Is this Gone with the Wind?
No.
Okay.
It's not Gone with the Wind. Let's back it up just a little bit.
There's so much we could do. You love Casablanca too. So here's looking at
Stop. Ariah.
Yes.
Casablanca.
Casablanca. Here's looking at you.
How did you get?
Yeah. I knew it was a line.
I couldn't. The reason why it took so long, I couldn't remember which movie it was from, Casablanca or Gone with the Wind.
Gotcha. This song, even though the lyrics up to that point, like I don't even know. Is there a character named Jan in the original Casablanca?
I don't know.
Because they repeat
And
that.
is the wife gone for?
Yeah, they repeat it twice. Like, is Jan somewhere I could find? They literally quote that line in the lyrics. So I don't know. I don't know why. But I love the break in this.
So here's looking at you.
That and the beat on this one, I legitimately would listen to.
Oh, totally. There is a character named Jan in the movie.
Is it like a lower tier character, or is it like the main woman? Is it Ingrid Bergman or
Anna Nina's husband who wants to escape to America with his wife?
Okay. 3 more. Here we go. It's tied, right? So these really count.
Yeah.
A young pilot's terrible mishap is followed by a lucky find. He's given Ekman's parental green light following extensive research on pass-fail trials involving armed forces. He then discovers the package's potential in California when Nazi art thieves kidnap his girlfriend.
All right, stop.
It's a very specific plot.
Stop. This is definitely The Rocketeer.
The Rocketeer, yes.
Yeah.
There's so many completely vague ones, and then this one just lays out the plot like almost flawlessly.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's get a little more of this at least.
The year is 1938. Cliff Secord is a stunt pilot for a rural air show. Secord and his aircraft mechanic close friend, a Peabody, find a hidden rocket pack. They quickly
just grab the plot summary section.
Gonna start reviewing.
Stolen rocket pack if they're to infiltrate America.
This is 3 minutes and 48 seconds long and goes through the entire plot with no chorus.
Fantastic.
It's just like 8 verses.
I feel like
whatever prompt you used for this song in particular, you should do for all your prompts, because it describes the movie without just like nonsense and then says the title. You know,
it's the same prompt as I used for all of them. It just knows more about other things for some reason. I can't explain it yet. This is what I typed for this: intense, aggressive nu metal sung by a screaming vocalist. I think it matched. It's very Linkin Parky, I would say. All right.
And then your prompt is just describe the movie or The Rocketeer.
Yep. It was the exact same prompt. It would be like with lyrics specifically from the plot of, and then the name of the movie, and sometimes the year, depending on if it was having issues. Okay, 2 more.
These are with 2.3.
Yeah. Points are doubled.
Yeah. The headline: coal miner son struggles to find friends, modeling industry, notorious drama.
Zach?
There Will Be Blood.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, really?
Let's start this one over. This one's yours to steal, Ariah.
Yeah. The headline: coal miner son struggles to find friends, modeling industry, notorious drama. Entertainers lined up in hallways all over the world. Your fate's death or face on milk carton by the end of the film. Super Mario saved the princess. The castle's isolated underground. Every main cast member is a king. Nobody's actually a commoner. In the end, the walls bug, though they just pretend to. The main character's brother and father are used to mining rocks next to the lava. If you criticize the advertising, they brutally criticize. Plans to be queen turn to dreams of having twin child servants. Sweaters with her initials slowly unravel. The talent jealous bro quitting turns to all ends.
Do you guys have any idea what this is?
You probably do it.
I'm thinking Zoolander.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
It's Zoolander. The first line is what gives it away. I was surprised you guessed the wrong thing.
Yeah, the coal miner's son. That's what.
Coal miner's son.
And then
find friends, modeling industry, notorious drama. Then it goes a little off the rails.
Yeah, why did it talk about Super Mario Brothers?
I don't know. Here, let's listen a little bit to the chorus. This would have given it away if you had got there.
Yeah, you die or they write your name in all caps at the end. Sirius is being cornered by a snake in a pit of rats in the name of 2001 Zoolander. We don't exist, only bootleg barbershop albums on all streaming.
It doesn't make any sense. They just threw the year of release and the name in the end of that line.
Amazing.
For no reason at all. All right.
All right. This one's worth 5 points.
Last
There
one.
we go.
And I'm going to bet Ariah has not seen this movie, but it is on Zach's top 100.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see
Do
if
it.
he steals it from Zach's jaws of victory. Here we go.
The hotter than hell. Sun was climbing the sky.
Oh, I would listen to this.
We
This
were
is great.
headed to nowhere, and we didn't know why. We meant to bring water, but we left it inside.
I know what it
And
is, but I
our
don't want to listen
soul-
to it.
What'd you say?
I know what it is, but I don't want to listen to it.
Her consciousness was flying way up high.
This is great.
So
It's 5
many
letters.
paths in the desert to find. We were bound to get lost, but it hadn't crossed our mind.
It's got 2 R's.
Territory changing left us bewildered and blind to ever find our way back home to our own kind.
Starts with a G.
So it never gets more specific than that.
Okay. You know it, Ariah?
No.
It's Jerry.
Jerry. That's
Jerry.
correct.
Gerry.
Yeah.
Yep, not a clue.
Yeah.
You've never seen Jerry.
Apparently not.
I first watched it while I lived with you.
I don't know.
Could help.
You guys didn't watch movies together, or you were just watching way more than Ariah could keep up with? Is that what was going on?
I don't know. Yeah.
Hmm.
I watched it with Nate.
Nice.
Yeah.
We didn't have a TV then.
Matt Damon.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You've never seen
I know
Jerry?
nothing about the movie. Dude. Clearly not.
Zach,
yeah.
why should Ariah watch Jerry? Or do you think he'd hate it?
Ariah would. He would. No. He would get the best nap of his life. Are you kidding me? You would love it.
It is a movie that you could nap in for sure.
Yeah.
It's not a loud movie
If you
at
can
all.
stay awake, that is impressive.
Yeah. It's Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, walking through the desert. That's the whole movie.
They get lost in the desert.
The whole movie.
The movie starts,
try to walk out.
they park, and then they walk into the desert. No explanation as to why they're doing this.
I mean, they're kind of just like camping, like nature walking.
Sure, but they're like not even talking to each other. They're just like walking to it.
No, they talk. They have conversations. They build a fire at one point and chat.
I'm talking about right after they park when they're walking.
Oh, sure.
I mean, eventually they have to talk to each other because, spoiler alert, things don't go as exactly how they planned.
Well,
Okay. Well, thanks. Otherwise, I would never watch it. I was like, they're just literally just walking and talking. That's all I got.
They get
So,
lost.
I actually appreciate
Yeah.
that. There might be more to it.
One of them, Jerry's the rendezvous.
Oh,
I mean, it's never
well,
going to be an
I was
exciting
close.
movie, but things do happen eventually in the movie, I would say. All right.
It's good.
Who won?
It was a close race. I will say James got last place
I did.
with 1 point. Yeah. With
Of the
stumper.
Cinereelists hosts, I got last place.
Of the Cinereelists hosts that played, because Kyle didn't play,
Right,
so
right,
it's
right.
not fair to say of the Cinereelists
You're right.
hosts.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let's be specific. Of the people guest hosting this week, who won?
Ariah did.
Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
out of all the guest hosts, Ariah won.
That's all we
yeah.
need to know. I got last.
That
Ariah
played.
won.
We've had guest hosts that did not play in this one, and so we don't know how they would have done. But of the guest hosts that played,
Right.
Ariah won.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
That's what I was thinking. That's all we need to know. End of episode.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, thank you guys for listening to episode 671 of the Cinereelists podcast. Was that fun? Was the AI songs? Does that
Yeah, that
continue
was
to be
great.
fun?
For me,
It's really annoying to prepare, to be honest, because for every one of those that I put in, I dumped like 3 or 4, just because I could not get it to the point where I thought people could actually get it, type of thing.
Sure.
That's a commitment.
Before we go, we need to remind you there's a video version of the podcast. Go check that out. Support us on Patreon. Leave us an Apple Podcast review or send us a listener email. Links to any and all of those things are in the description of this episode. You could also follow us on most social media platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. And you could also follow me on my Blue Sky or Letterboxd account at EOJRB.
You can follow me on Letterboxd or Twitter at Shaubin. Ariah, where can we follow you?
I have accounts. I don't use them.
What?
You can't follow him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a fairly uncommon name, so you can probably Google it.
All right. Fair enough. We will be back next week with the top 10, last 10. Long awaited. Top 10, last 10. When's the last time we did one? It's got to be at least 4 months.
Last year?
4 or 5 months, probably, since we've done one. I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet.
We'll get to talk a lot of memories of murder. So,
Oh, you watched it?
yeah, I watched it recently, like literally last night.
Oh, nice.
I got out of Mickey 17 and said, I got to watch a good Bong Jun Ho movie that I've never seen. And a lot of people talk that one up. So we'll see you guys there for the top 10, last 10. Until then, keep it Cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.